All new here at 6, 3 weeks from Sunday, Tampa will host the Super Bowl for a 5th time. But because of the pandemic, it will be scaled back in so many ways.
Each year, cities fight to get the big game, spend millions of dollars, and in some cases, taxpayer money. Tonight, ABC Action News reporter Eric Waxler goes in-depth pressing leaders to see if bringing the Super Bowl to the Bay Area is really worth the expense.
It's America's biggest sporting event, and it's back in Tampa. Organizers throw out huge numbers when trying to convince local governments that bringing in the Super Bowl is an economic windfall.
We come to you today with hat in hand asking you to invest $3 million of tourist development tax money.
2 years ago, the Tampa Bay Sports Commission got Hillsborough County leaders to agree to contribute money for infrastructure, stadium staffing, and security. Commissioner Ken HAGAN cited Super Bowls in Minneapolis and Houston as having brought in well over $400 million each.
That's why so many cities not only bid on hosting the Super Bowl, but are also willing to contribute an average of nearly $15 million in public funding.
Along with $3 million from Hillsborough County's Tourist Development Council, other taxpayer-funded organizations chipped in another $4.5 million.
If I were mayor of a city, of course I want to host the Super Bowl.
But economist Victor MATHESON says promises of economic impact are greatly exaggerated.
They sure seem like a big deal when they're in town and you have hordes of people, but when you actually crunch the numbers, the return on investment isn't very great.
MATHESON says the big game brings in somewhere between $30 and $130 million, and the higher estimates encourage cities to dish out tax subsidies for the NFL and spend more money on renovating stadiums or building new ones. Hillsborough County taxpayers contributed nearly $30 million toward renovations at Raymond James Stadium 5 years ago.
And as a rule of thumb, what economists say is take whatever the promoters say, move the decimal point one place to the left, and that's actually a pretty good estimate of the real economic impact.
And now add in something that no one could have predicted, a global pandemic, and the economic impact of Super Bowl 55 looks even worse. Attendance will be drastically cut for the game, but even more devastating is the loss of corporate events and parties that bring in thousands of visitors. Bridgestone Tires and Anheuser-Busch are among those who canceled plans already, and ESPN is scaling back its normally massive footprint.
When we found out the Super Bowl was here in Tampa, it was amazing. It's, I guess, every city and every business's dream.
Alex Fernandez and his wife Diana own one of the many businesses that had hoped to cash in during Super Bowl week. They had expected AFFAR transportation to be booked solid, but with the pandemic continuing, they only have 2 jobs booked.
In a perfect world, we would be doing all the corporate events, we'd be doing all the parties.
Even in the midst of COVID, we have a chance on a world stage to show how much Tampa has matured and all the opportunities that are here.
Will Weatherford is a former state representative and Speaker of the Florida House. Now he runs a private investment firm and is co-chairman of Tampa's Super Bowl host committee.
If you were still in public office and were on the other side and had to sign off for the money to be spent, you would see it the same way?
This is a wise utilization of both private and public dollars. There's no dollar amount you can put on the value a city gets from hosting a Super Bowl, particularly a city like Tampa that is on the move, is in growth mode.
Tampa has changed a lot since the Super Bowl here in 2009, most notably the downtown Riverwalk, which will be used for the NFL experience. Even with fewer visitors, there still will be worldwide exposure.
It's the most watched event in the world every single year. People are going to see Tampa and how it's grown up and how it's changed and how Florida has changed. And our opportunity to tell our story during the most watched event globally is really unique.
I'm not going to cry about what could have been and what should have been. The reality is that I'm still alive, my family's still alive, and we're going to go forward, we're going to get through this, and Tampa's going to continue to shine and to grow.
The hospitality industry has taken a huge hit during the pandemic, but for hotels and restaurants, any added boost of business is better than none. And one thing for sure, this Super Bowl will be unlike any other played before.
The hope is that the Super Bowl can be a shot in the arm to the world about how we can come together.
In Tampa, Eric Waxler, ABC Action News.